Hello, I'm Mary, and I'm going to show you how to make my sheet pan blueberry pancakes. Now to start, I've got 2 ripe bananas. The riper, the better, because the riper they are, the more flavour they have. So my mum was a New Yorker. I grew up in a vegetarian family, and I was inspired to cook by watching my mum cooking. The kitchen was the sort of heart of our home. And one thing that we would make together would be blueberry pancakes. And my favourite thing would be to make blueberry pancakes, get back into bed with them and watch a movie. That is the bananas really well mashed. Now I'm going to add unsweetened plant milk, gradually stir that in. And now for a little sharpness, I'm going to add some apple cider vinegar. And when that mixes with the milk, it kind of gives it a buttermilk quality. And then for some flavour, some vanilla extract. And then instead of using melted butter, I just use olive oil, and that adds a lovely glossiness. And the great thing about these is you make the batter, and instead of staying by the pan like making all the batch of pancakes, you literally put it in the oven, and the oven does all the work for you. Now for the dry mix, I've got some plain flour, a pinch of salt, baking powder to let it rise, give it that lift, and some more flavour. I'm going for ground cinnamon, which I think is delicious, and I think blueberries and cinnamon go really well together. Now to gradually add the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. There we go, mixing all the time. Brunch is one of my favourite meals of the day, and this is exactly the kind of thing I'd make at the weekend. So now I'm ready to get it into the sheet pan. I put a little bit of oil underneath, and then you put parchment paper on the top, and all that means is that the pancakes won't stick when you take them out of the oven. And now I'm going to just pour in the batter. And personally, no pancake is complete without blueberries. So I'm going to scatter them all around the top. They cook and they just pop. And it feels so American, so it always reminds me of my mum. For a little bit of crunch when it's baking and to make the top a bit more caramelly, I've got a little bit of coconut sugar. Again, just scatter it evenly over the top, 200 degrees for half an hour. So I can go and have a cup of tea and put my feet up. Time to serve it up. So fruity and delicious. I'm going to cut this up into 12 pieces, so this would serve 4 people. I've got this really good vegan whipped cream. That's really fun. A little bit of height. And some chopped fresh strawberries. There we go. And then no pancakes are finished in my book without maple syrup. Let's test it out. That's so good. That banana, the blueberries, that cinnamon spice coming through, and that delicious maple syrup.